those are actually Kim's notes.
Oh, here we're back. Okay, 7:19. Welcome in here because we're talking lottery, and Corey and I were just catching up because everyone's got Powerball fever. Let's pretend you actually won, right? You want to know what to do if that was the case, and we've got Corey Rosenstiel here to walk us through that because, Corey, even if you don't win the $700 million Powerball, we've said earlier we have a winner in North Carolina right now who's won $50,000. You still got to know what to do with that too, right?
That's right.
What's step number one? If you have numbers that match up, whatever the amount is, what do you need to do?
Well, the first thing you have to remember is that's what's called a bearer instrument at that point. Until it's signed, if that thing blows out of your hand and somebody else picks it up, it's their lottery ticket at that point. So you need to be aware of that right off the bat. Second thing you need to do probably is go get a tax professional to talk to you. If you're talking about the $50,000 variety, then you should probably go and talk to your accountant or whoever gives you advice regularly and talk to them about what you need to do to put yourself in a position to not have a huge tax burden that you're not expecting at the end of the year. If it's the larger variety, if you're the $400 million type person, it's important to remember that in some states you can avoid getting your name public. So they'll allow you to remain anonymous. South Carolina is still one of those states. So for some of your viewers, you'd be able to go and get this prize anonymously, which prevents a lot of the predatory stuff that you'd expect.
Oh, yeah. North Carolina, though, we should say you do have to announce publicly,
North Carolina is a public
state. Within, what, 6 months?
Yep, 180 days.
Okay.
So the other thing that you do at that point is if you're a $400 million type person, you'd probably want to go and talk to an attorney before you turned in that ticket and get the tax planning done in the best possible way for you.
And from a media perspective, I'll tell you also, when you do announce your name, since you have to in North Carolina, do it on a day that other giant news breaks so that, so that it will be a little bit under the radar. Okay, so that's a good tip there. Now, when you say, as far as keeping the ticket for yourself, here's something a lot of people do, right? A lot of people go in together on Powerball tickets. I put in some money here, you put in some money there. How do you determine who actually has a claim to that ticket if it is a group effort?
Well, what you should do is if you're putting money in, you should have some kind of a written agreement, even if it's just an email back and forth. That way you have some kind of a record as to who's put their money in and who hasn't. Some of the issues that people run into is not an issue of people trying to be unfair to each other, but what do you do if Bill's put in $2 a week for 20 years and he was sick on Friday and didn't get his $2 in? Well, what's Bill's claim? It's a tough call, and over the years that type of thing has arisen, and it's nice if you have the physical record to prove it.
What's the precedent there? I mean, what would happen to Bill?
Well, it depends on who you're dealing with, but really, if Bill hasn't put his money in, he's probably out of luck.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope that doesn't happen to anybody. Okay, now how about let's talk about what happens if you do win that money. As you said, God forbid something happened to you afterwards, right? And you have all this money. You want to make sure that it goes to whoever or wherever you want it to go, right? Also,
well, and that's part of the reason why you need to talk to somebody before you cash in your ticket. Talk to an attorney before you cash in your ticket, because you want to make sure that you have estate planning set up that's going to allow for your heirs to take that money. One of the problems you can run into is you can have the ticket and they can't pay the estate tax because they don't have the money. And so there are issues that you need to watch out for in that regard.
Gosh, all kinds of things to think about. All the problems you have when you win $700 million, right? I'm looking through your notes here to see if there's anything else in particular that we need to... Oh, well, this is a good one, too. It is hard to convince people to do, probably, but you say really avoid those sudden lifestyle changes. Kind of still keep it as normal as you can, right? For as long as you can.
You need to make sure that you take care of your money. And it's very easy when you have a change in circumstance to change your habits in a way that you can't support. And so that's especially relevant for those people who are looking at the $50,000 or $100,000 prizes, because you can go out and spend that money and not have the money to pay the taxes on it at the end of the day. It's going to be a little bit tougher to spend all your money if you win $300 million.
I don't know, Corey. I think I could do it. I think I could figure out ways to possibly do it. Felicia has been planning how to as well. So are you going to play?
I have. I've got a ticket. I've got a ticket already.
Oh, for this one, for Saturday.
I'm not going to tell you what my numbers are.
I know, don't. So yeah, keep it a secret. And we're not going to tell you if we win either, although Felicia and I will not be here on Monday if we do. Corey Rosenstiel, thank you so much for coming in. As a reminder, also, you can get your tickets between now and Saturday, because the next Powerball drawing will be on Saturday, and they're estimating it will be around $700 million. Thank you, sir. Okay, coming up, saying bye to the